Hello, everyone, and welcome to Molehill Mountain, episode 313. Hi, I'm Andrew. How are you? I am in a bad mood. I think. I'm not sure. I'm not very good at examining my own feelings, but I think it's possible that I might likely be in a foul mood. Why do I suspect that is the case? Well, dear friends. Cafe Fox, your East Coast, huh? Yep, and Momo is Central. Okay. Happy Saturday, Chicago. Yesterday was Friday, and after my workday ended, I thought, you know what? There's this movie that released on Shudder this week that I saw the trailer for and I thought it looked fun. It's called Christmas, Bloody Christmas. It's a slasher movie about not just a killer Santa, it's about a killer Santa robot. And I thought that sounded fun and a very cheery way to kick off the holidays a week into December. So I watched it, and I didn't like it. And while I could point out some shortcomings with the film, I was actually kind of surprised I didn't like it. As the credits rolled, I thought to myself, this seems like something I should enjoy, to an extent anyway, but I did not. So, as I often do, if I have time, after watching a movie that doesn't do it for me, I watched another movie because I don't like to go to bed disappointed. Keep thine minds out of the gutter. Of course, my mind's probably the only one that went there. So I decided to watch Pinocchio, the Guillermo del Toro Pinocchio, which also came out this week. Something I've been keeping an eye on for a while. Very excited to see this. Fan of a lot of Guillermo del Toro's work. Looked good. Reviews were good. I love stop motion animation. So I was excited to check that out. I got an hour in. That's what she said. Yeah, I don't want to go to bed disappointed. Yeah. So I got an hour into Pinocchio and I turned it off because I wasn't enjoying it at all. And I was thinking, okay, maybe I'm just in a bad mood. I'm going to go to bed disappointed. I hate to do that, but, it was getting late. So I went to bed in a huff. Huffy Betty Bye time. Got up and later that morning I watched the rest of Pinocchio. Thinking, maybe I'll just be in a better mood tomorrow. Well, either my mood did not improve, or it wasn't my mood, because, and it kills me to say this, I don't like Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. There's a lot I like about it. I like the aesthetic. I like the fact that it's doing something radically different with the story. It's taken the basic premise of a living puppet boy and doing something completely different with it, while still having, the carnival guy, your Stromboli kind of guy, having a monstrous sea monster. The touchstones of the work are still there, but broadly it's a completely new story. I like the story, I like the themes, I like the aesthetic. I love stop motion animation. It's a musical. I love musicals. I really did not like this movie. So, maybe I'm in a bad mood, or maybe I just didn't like these two films. But we're not here to listen to me muse about this. We're here to listen to me muse about other things. We're here to talk about YouTube's customer service. The fun-filled, entertaining story that just has no end. So when we left off last week, someone had, as happens frequently, entered an invalid copyright claim against one of my videos. This happens frequently. So I'd done complained to YouTube, and Team YouTube on Twitter, of course, responded. Now, they've never actually helped. They've never actually been willing to do anything, but they're happy to respond. And it makes for an entertaining story, as frustrating as it is, so here we go. So, I talked about this last week, the entire back and forth, and where we left off last, I forget, was it Friday or Saturday? It was Friday. Where we left off on Friday of last week was they asked for the, I had told them, this is an invalid claim because, one, your copyright ID system misidentified the music that I'm using in my video. Which means that the collection services they're collecting on behalf of the entity that owns the copyright, their claim is invalid because the entity they're claiming on behalf of does not own the copyright to the video, the music that's actually being used in my video. Listening to the video for 5 seconds will tell you that. Here's an email from the copyright holder who says, yeah, we don't own the copyright to that. So where we left off last Friday was, give us a link to the video and we'll look into it and we'll get back to you, they said. Now, I would like, if you will, they did get back to me. 5 days later. Again, this is something I figured out in less than 5 minutes. I looked at the claim and went, oh, well, I know you don't own the copyright to this, because I know who does. So I knew, one, it's fair use. Two, you don't own the copyright. I even wrote the, who they were collecting on behalf of and said, hey, do you by any chance own the copyright to this? And they're like, no. We own the copyright to a remix of that song, but no, we don't own the copyright to the original. Yeah. So 5 days later, Team YouTube comes back and they say, we're back! Not capitalizing anything, of course. We've sent you a DM with more details plus next steps. You can check that out. Write in the chat what you think their next steps were. What do you think Team YouTube took 5 days to advise me to do? Now, my guess, we'll find out together if I was right, but my guess was if they ever get back to me, which they ultimately did 5 days later, if they had any advice for me, it would be to dispute the claim. Using the regular method of disputing. That's what I figured they'd say. So I checked my DMs. No DM. Well, it was 2 in the morning, so I went to bed, disappointed. Got up in the morning and checked Twitter again, and still nothing in my messages. So I wrote Team YouTube. I said, it's been 6 hours. You ever going to actually send that DM? I noticed the copyright claim is still up, even though it's obviously and easily provably invalid. I'm going to be super cross if your advice is to dispute the claim, something you know I did 5 days ago. And Team YouTube responds quite quickly, can you please check your inbox? We've already shared the deets via DM. My inbox? Well, I checked my messages in Twitter again. It's still nothing in there. Did they say they direct messaged me on Twitter, but meant sent you an email? Okay, so I went to my personal email, didn't see anything. Well, okay, maybe it got eaten by the spam folder. Nope. Did I throw it away somehow? Did it automatically forward to the trash? No. Inbox. Oh god, do they mean Gmail? I have a Gmail because you kind of have to have one to set up a YouTube account. I never use that, but I mean, it's what's linked to my YouTube account, so maybe that's where they sent it. Nope. Inbox, trash, spam, not in there either. YouTube used to have a messaging inbox, but I don't think it's had one for years. I looked around, couldn't find it. So I responded, nothing from you in my Twitter DMs, which is what I assume you meant. Maybe my email, nothing there either, nor my spam folder. Gmail, which I don't use, nope. Don't see any comments on YouTube either, as there's some YouTube inbox I'm unaware of. And Team YouTube responded, again, fairly quickly, said, could you try checking your Twitter DMs again? We sent it around 8 hours ago. Let me know if you're still not seeing it. And I said, nope. As seen in the screen below, the most recent DM I received was on November 19th, and I showed a screenshot of my messages, blurring out, don't worry, anyone who's contacted me, I mosaicked all your profile pics and usernames, so. YouTube responds, we sent the DM again to your Twitter inbox, so look out for that. Okay. Still not there. Now, to be fair, Twitter did, or I'm sorry, Team YouTube on Twitter did send me a DM, but Twitter is not working in a way I would expect. So this is on Twitter, not on Team YouTube. So what I did was I went to my Twitter messages, and I hit new, or whatever it is. I hit the new button to create a new message. And then I typed Team YouTube to create a new message to Team YouTube, which populated Team YouTube into my inbox. I also noticed that I had direct messages from like a dozen or so other people. Quick look, it looked like it was all spam, but apparently, in order for... So if you've ever tried to direct message me, that's probably why I have not responded. Because apparently, at least right now, or at least earlier this week, in order to see direct messages from people I've never received direct messages of, I have to try and compose a direct message to the person who sent me a direct message to see the message that they already sent me. Which is an unbelievably terrible way of doing things. Because I know there's like 15 other messages in there, but I don't know who they're from, so oh well. Now I went into my settings to see what my messaging settings were, and it's set for anyone can DM me, so nevertheless, I did indeedy get a direct message from Team YouTube, and it says, you can reach out to the content owners, Collection Service 1 and Collection Service 2, and ask them to release the claim. The contact deets are the following, and they gave me about 7 different actual email addresses. I think... looks like one of them is Taiwan and the other is Australia. Let me know if you have any LMK, if you have any other Qs. In case you were wondering, in their direct messages, they don't capitalize anything there either, other than proper names. Got the DM, I wrote. So, instead of taking responsibility for the failures of your content ID and copyright claiming system, you're putting the onus on me to contact the claimants and ask them to release the claim when you could just cancel the proven invalid claim. Lazy. Shameful. They did not respond to that. Now you may be wondering, so did you send an email to the collection services and ask them to release the claim? Yes. Yes, I did. I emailed all 7 of them. I have heard back from 0 of them. It's been 4 or 5 days. And the claim has not been released. I imagine what's going to happen is they'll just... the same thing that happens every time. They'll just let the clock run out on the claim. I've disputed the claim. They have a month to respond. If they don't do anything, then I have to appeal the claim, and I think they have to respond in a week. And what happens is they just don't respond, and there you go. So, once again, Team YouTube has shown that it absolutely will not do anything. It will take no steps. It will not actively do anything. It'll tell you to do things, but it won't do anything even when it knows it's wrong. Chicago says, I wonder if their customer service reps are from a different country. That could be why they don't capitalize anything with proper names. I'm unaware of that being a regional thing, but I don't know. It would seem to me that they have regional standards, but I don't know. Now, as bad as Team YouTube's customer support is, and it's arguably the worst, Disney saw these interactions and said, Team YouTube, hold my beer. So, Tuesday night, episode 3 of the new Willow show premiered. I saw the first 2 episodes, did a debut review, but that'll be out at some point because I haven't edited it yet. I think I did a debut review for Wednesday and I haven't edited that either, so that's probably going to be a month or so before you see it. Nevertheless, I enjoyed the first 2 episodes of Willow, was looking forward to staying up late, even though I had to work the next morning, and watching episode 3. But when I logged into Disney Plus, I was confused to find that the site was in Dutch. I don't speak Dutch, so I don't read Dutch. And I was like, how the hell did that happen? So I go onto my computer and I browse to the Disney Plus website, logged in my account, and yeah, everything's in Dutch. Don't know why. Did someone from the Netherlands hack my account? What the biscuits? Now, like most websites, I imagine there is a language toggle somewhere in there. But it's really difficult to find the account settings when it's in a language you don't read. So I went to DisneyPlus.com, or Disney's customer service site, and browsed around the FAQ, and I couldn't find anything about changing the site's language. I found plenty on changing the subtitle languages, but that wasn't the problem. It wasn't the show subtitles. It was the entire site was in Dutch. Cafe Fox? Yes! Cafe Fox says, I like the new Willow show. So far I like it too. But I find the ending credit songs to be kind of out of place. Oh, I find it very out of place. It's like, what the hell is this? It is so tonally jarring. It is the weirdest choice for ending credits music. I don't know. I don't know. But yes, I completely agree with that. So, looked around, could not find anything to tell me where the hell the language toggle was. But, Disney is 24/7, so I opened the chat. And within a couple of minutes, hi, I'm whoever. What can I, please describe your problem. I'm like, okay, I'm on the Disney Plus website, and the website is in Dutch. I need to know where the language toggle is on the website so I can change it back to English. Please and thanks. So, hi, I'm Caitlin, or whatever, and I'd be happy to help you with your problem. Thank you so much for... They do that thing where they're just overly polite to the point where you just want to punch people in the head. And I try not to let that irritate me, but oh, it does. It so does. I mean, there's being polite, and then there's tonguing my bottom, and I don't like it. Stop it. I mean, you do you, but... Chicago says, I've yet to see the Willow show. I just rewatched the movie so I can watch it. I actually rewatched the movie right before watching the show, too. Because, honestly, I don't think I'd seen it since the theater. Back in, God, 88, 89, something like that. I don't know that I ever saw Willow a second time. I know I've seen parts of it. It's probably like on TV. I'm like, oh, it's Willow. But I think the only front to back watch I ever gave the movie was, when I was 8 or 9 years old and I saw it in the theater. So anyway, Carrie or whatever her name is, being disgustingly polite. Thank you. Oh my gosh, it's so wonderful that you chose us for your customer service needs. I am so thrilled to help you. Oh God, I was about to slit my wrists, but you're here to... I'm like, oh my God, please. I just want to know where the language toggle is. And she's like, what can I do to help you? Do you not have access to the part of this chat where I actually typed in what my problem was? Was this assigned to you with... What's the point of me having to type in the problem if you don't pass that on to whichever support specialist you're connecting me with? So I scroll up, copy, paste. I'm on the Disney Plus website and it's in Dutch. I need to know where the site's language toggle is so that I can toggle it back to English. And she says, thank you for that question. I would be more than happy to get an answer for it. I'm like, oh my God. Hopefully they never develop the technology to slap people over the internet because, man. So she says, may I have your name, please? Sure. Andrew. Thank you for answering the question that I just provided. Oh my God. All right. Now may I have your email address? Fine. Andrew, blah, 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 blah. That's wonderful. Thank you so... Oh my God. Can I have your billing zip code? Okay, here you go. Thank you for that. Just give me a moment. I have verified your account. Why? I mean, okay. Bully for you, but why are you just tell me where the goddamn language toggle is and we can both be on our way. I can watch Willow and you can read The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Or I don't know why that came into mind. I saw they did an American remake, didn't they? I saw the original. Polish? I don't even remember. It's alright. I actually have the book. I should read it at some point. I have the first two. Girl Who Played with Fire. Maybe that's their... I think I have the first two. There's 3 of them. Anyway. Well, she verified my account, by gum. So, great. So, where's the, the language toggle? And she says, did you try logging out and logging back into your app? App? Like the mobile app? I'm not using my phone. Why would anyone do that? I already told you twice I'm using the website. I mean, maybe you're referring to the DisneyPlus.com as an app. That's odd, but I mean, okay. But just to clarify, I'm on my desktop PC using a browser to navigate to DisneyPlus.com. The Disney Plus site is in Dutch. I need to know where on the site is the language toggle so I can change it back to English. She says, oh, okay, thank you so much for Give me 2 to 3 minutes to get back to you. You don't know? Okay, sure. So 2 to 3 minutes later, Catherine, or whatever her name is, comes back. and says, you can change a show's subtitle language by... I'm like, oh my god. And I said, Katie, no. The site, DisneyPlus.com, the website, is in Dutch. I'm not watching a film and am annoyed by Dutch subtitles. The entire site is in Dutch. I open up the drop-down menu and all the options are Dutch, and I don't know which one's the account settings because it's in Dutch and I don't speak or read Dutch. I'm an American, which means English is the only thing I will ever know because I'm stubborn and refuse to learn anything else. Chicago says they won't help you unless you are a subscriber. They might get dumb people who hacked someone's account and want to change the language. Oh, that's a fair point, Chicago. Yeah, you know, fair enough. I'm glad I wasn't snotty with her about that. You know, I'm like, I don't... But then again, I mean, all I was asking, where is the language toggle? That's it. You could say, go into account settings and under here and here. That's it. I'm not asking for you to change my... I'm not asking for you to do anything to my account. I'm not asking billing stuff. But sure, maybe that's the first thing in their script that they have to do to ensure you're a subscriber. I didn't think of that. Does seem unnecessary for my particular issue, but fair enough. Good point. Thanks for pointing that out. Hello, Ryan. All right. So, now she knows I'm not talking about the subtitles, because this is the third or fourth time I've made it clear what my very simple issue is. Now, please, give me 2 or 3 minutes to get back to you with a solution. 2 or 3 minutes later, she comes back and she says, okay, here's a list of instructions for what you do. And I read through them. And there are the instructions to change the language of my internet browser. I said, Katrina, the Disney Plus website. It's not my browser that's in Dutch. It's your website. Specifically, the way my account is displaying your website. Every other page on the internet is in English. It's not my browser. I didn't ask you about the browser. It's just Disney Plus. Again, all I want you to tell me is where the hell the language settings on Disney Plus are so that I can change them. That's all I want. I just want you to tell me where the goddamn language settings on your site are. Please. And thank you. Oh, okay. Give me 2 or 3 minutes to find a solution. Now, at this point, it had been like 25 minutes or something like that. And I was still poking around on the... I was basically just going through each option one by one until I found it. And I found it myself. Right when she came back with, did you try going into your account settings? It was at this point that I was not polite. And informed her that because she'd been dicking me around for half an hour, I'd found them myself. But no, I didn't try looking in account settings because the site's in Dutch! I felt a point I had made very clear. I don't know where the account settings are. Maybe if you told me what account settings in Dutch is... I mean, if I knew this was going to be a problem, I would have just gone to like Google Translate or something and figured out what... Because you can't copy text from the Disney Plus site. So I didn't want to hand transcribe it into a different monitor to figure out what the various menu options were. And I ended the chat there because, I'd figured out my problem. Now, she had said earlier that she was hoping that I would fill out a survey to, how my experience was. Needless to say, they did not send me that survey. No. So, Chicago says, be thankful she didn't ask for your monitor brand and model. She would have given you instructions to change the OSD language for the monitor. God. I've worked tech support before. I was on the off-hours rotation for years. I thought I was fine at my job. But maybe I'm just amazing. Because this is a call, or a chat rather, that should have been over in less than 3 minutes. Hi. I browsed to your site, and it's in Dutch, which makes it very hard to navigate. So if you could walk me through changing the language back to English, I would most appreciate that. Hey, no problem. You see the profile pic in the upper right corner of the screen? Yeah. Hover your mouse over that, and that will open up a menu. Okay. Select the second option from the top. Okay. Now, click on the profile with your avatar pic. Okay. Alright. Now there's a lot of stuff on this screen, and it's in Dutch. But the only element that has a drop-down menu, that's the language toggle. So find the element with the drop-down menu, pick, US English out of there, and you're done. Okay, boom, done. Easy. That's all that need be done. That's it. Needless to say, I was upset. It was getting late because, again, she dicked me around for about half an hour. And I did not watch Willow that night. In fact, I still haven't watched. Maybe I'll watch it tonight. But man, is it possible that Disney is even worse from the customer service standpoint than YouTube? Because holy biscuits. Chicago says the Disney Plus customer service story is the villain origin story of Andrew. Yeah. They are trying to break me. It's like, it's the kind of thing where it feels, the perception is that they're doing this on purpose. Because cynical as I am, I find it very difficult to conceive of anyone being that unbelievably incompetent. I mean, it's possible that the customer service rep that I was connected to, English is not their first language, so they were doing the best they could. That seems unlikely, considering this is Disney, but I don't know. Maybe they cheaped out and they only have like 5 people handling tech support for the entire world. And, these 5 people are all multilingual and they're each responsible for like 50 different countries. Maybe that's the case because Disney's a cheap corporation. Who the hell knows? But it's very, very unpleasant when it feels like you're going to someone for help and they're deliberately mistreating you. I don't think anyone who called me when I was on tech support ever came away with that impression. I mean, sometimes I couldn't help, and I had to escalate it to someone else. Sometimes I had awful trouble understanding what their problem was. But I don't think any of them ever came away thinking, wow, that Andrew guy wasn't even trying, or was deliberately trying to waste my time. So, maybe they were new. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's like, this seems like a very basic question. Hey, somehow I accidentally toggled your site's language to Dutch. It's difficult to figure out how to toggle it back because I can't read the site now. Perhaps you could walk me through that. Hey, no problem. That's a very easy common thing. The language toggle on our website. See, that would seem like an easy thing. Like if, years ago, I haven't done this in years, but if someone called me up and said, "Hey, Andrew, we're using the inventory program, and somehow it's in Spanish. How do we change the language back?" Okay. Is Wisdom, the name of the application, is Wisdom open right now? Yes. Okay. Close it. Hit the X button in the upper right corner of the application. Okay. It's closed now, right? Okay, cool. Double-click the icon on your desktop to launch it again. That'll bring up the login box. Don't log in. Just tell me when you're looking at the login box. Okay, looking at the login box. Cool. There's a drop-down immediately underneath the username and password fields. You see it? Yeah. Open it and select English. That's the language toggle. Oh, okay. You know what? I've logged into this thing a million times and never even noticed that there. Yeah. Why would you? You've never had... It defaults to English. It defaults to whatever a particular file on the laptop... There's a config file, but that's not important. Why would you? But that's easy. I didn't need to... Excuse me for 2 or 3 minutes while I figure out this really simple thing. Anyway... Next time, have someone else talk to them in a different language. Let's see how they feel. Next time I'm doing that chat thing, I'm just going to, type in Google Translate and type my responses in Google Translate, translate it into Dutch, and then paste that into the chat or something. All right, so, let's talk about cookies. So, my work, for whatever reasons, is having a cookie contest. And it's next week. It's Wednesday, I think. And I thought, and it's a virtual cookie contest because we're all working remotely for the most part. So, really, it's just... It's just a fun way to show off cookies and share recipes, and the only requirement is you have to actually eat one cookie on camera to make sure that you didn't buy a plastic cookie, I guess. I don't know. So I decided that I'd participate, because why the heck not? And I would participate with the easiest, stupidly simple cookie recipe that I know. Yogurt cookies. So, what are yogurt cookies? Well, there's a hint in the name. So, it is cake mix and yogurt. That's it. Get a box of cake mix. You see that super moist Betty Crocker box of cake mix in the back. Get yogurt. Dump the yogurt in the cake mix. That's the batter. That's it. That's the entire recipe. So, now, when I was a kid, it's 2 parts cake mix and 1 parts yogurt. Boxes of cake mix are typically 16 and a half ounces. Yogurt, when I was young, used to be 8 ounces. So you'd buy a box of cake mix and a thing of yogurt, combine them, and you've got your yogurt cookie batter. Right? But today, things of yogurt are typically 5.3 to 6 ounces. So what I did was, did Lou show up? I don't see Lou. Did Lou get stuck in a spam trap again? Moderation trap? Who knows? Anyway. So, whoops. There we go. Okay, so what I did was I divided the cake mix into 2, put them in 2 different bowls. And then I bought 2 different 6-ounce things of yogurt, which is a little bit more than I wanted, so I took a heaping spoonful out of each and ate it. So that's kind of how I measured it out. So The fun thing about this yogurt cookie recipe is what flavor you make depends on what yogurt and what cake box you get, right? If you want chocolate cookies, you just get chocolate cake and mix it with like plain or vanilla yogurt. What I did was I got plain white cake and a strawberry yogurt and a blueberry yogurt to make strawberry and blueberry cookies, right? Okay, so we mix them together and there's our cookie batter. But that's kind of dull, so food coloring for the win! Now we've got really bright, vibrant day-glow cookies. So, just drop them on a silicone baking mat or aluminum foil if you're old school, and bake them in the oven 10 to 12 minutes at 350. Put some sprinkles on them. You'll notice I didn't sprinkle all of them. It's because I was planning on frosting some of them, and this is how they turned out. Unfortunately, I forgot to buy cream, so I couldn't make any frosting. I'll have to do that later. But this is what they turn out. Now, the sprinkles are important, especially if you go for chocolate, because if you go for chocolate, they look like little poos. So make sure you put sprinkles on them. Anyway, if you're going for like strawberry or blueberry, or if you're going to try like banana or something interesting, I'd go with some food coloring, because otherwise, it's the batter, you can see kind of a pink hue and a blue hue, but it's a little on the dull side. I personally think it's more fun to put in the food coloring and have these ridiculously vibrant cookies. Now, you can actually top them with all kinds of different things. Sprinkles are a classic, but you can also, because of this, it's cake, so because of the spongy texture, it accommodates things like icings and frostings really well. But you could also do diced fruit or compote spreads, things like that. They're extraordinarily simple, and you can. They're really easy to try different things. Now, for the frosting, I was thinking about making blueberry frosting and strawberry frosting, because you can get strawberry extract. But I don't know if blueberry extract is even a thing. So you'd probably have to do the thing where you boil some blueberries and then stuff them through a strainer and use that. But I don't. That's more work than I'm willing to do. so maybe I'll just do regular vanilla frosting. I'll still food color it blue and pink. But so the idea I'm thinking is make a batch of vanilla frosting, cut it in half, blue one, pink the other, and then put the pink frosting on the blue cookies and the blue frosting on the pink cookies. That seems fun to me. Chocolate cookies frosted with peanut butter. Might work. I would try one first before frosting an entire batch with peanut butter. Think about it this way. How would it taste to frost a cake with peanut butter? I don't know. Would it be off-putting or would it be good? Don't know. Worth a try. Give it a try. Well, you got Cafe Fox's attention. So, this Friday, we got a new email reminding us of the schedule for the cookie contest, and they very so subtly changed the name of the cookie contest to a cookie decorating contest. Oh, well. Yeah, I'm definitely going to lose now, because I just put sprinkles on. Half of them are going to be frosted and half just have sprinkles that I just spooned onto them. I mean, that makes sense for a virtual thing. I mean, you can't taste them, so it's which ones look the best, but whatever. I made a small batch of cookies, so. For anyone wondering what the yield is, it depends on how big of cookies you drop, but you're looking at about 2 dozen, maybe 30. For out of one box of cake mix. Peanut butter cream? Okay, sure. Peanut butter flavored frosting? Yeah, you could do that. But using actual peanut butter, I don't know. That it's. I mean, it depends on the peanut. That would seem to be, even if you got really creamy peanut butter, that would that would strike me as too thick. Like the texture is too thick compared to the sponginess of the cookie underneath. Don't know. Be something I'd have to try. But chocolate and peanut butter goes together. So I like where your brain going. That's definitely the interesting thing that you can try, right? Um, like if you wanted more flavor, more strawberry flavor out of the strawberry cookie, you could try strawberry cake mix and strawberry yogurt, right? Generally speaking, you get the most flavor out of the cake mix. So that's. But I was making two different flavors, which is why I went for a white cake mix. I just separated it and then used the two different flavors of yogurt. But if you're making one big batch of the same flavor, you're probably going to want to err on the side of the cake mix for the flavor and then probably plain or vanilla yogurt. But, if you can match the yogurt flavor, that might work too. Just stay away from the fruit on the bottom yogurts. That does not bake well. Orion says, yes, there's a peanut butter frosting with powdered sugar, and I don't remember what else, but yeah, peanut butter frosting wouldn't be the prettiest. I mean, it's... Make them cookie snowmen. Yeah, I could stack them up, I guess. How would you make peanut butter frosting? Let's see. So generally speaking, it's more icing, but broadly you'd want confectionery sugar, cream, a little bit of butter. That's your basic icing right there. I don't know how to work in peanut butter to that though. That by itself wouldn't work. Google it. So, Sunday falls on, or I'm sorry, Christmas rather this year falls on Sunday. So the 25th is Sunday, is a Sunday rather. So, 2 weeks and a day from now. So I decided that instead of a video game stream, I'm going to do a cooking show. I'll be streaming from my kitchen, making a holiday treat. Because that's fun to do every once in a while. Not the yogurt cookies. We're going to make what a friend of mine affectionately call crack balls. So look forward to that. I hope you have something better to do on Christmas Day. But if you do not, I'll teach you how to make crack balls for the holidays. So that'll be fun. All right, we got a couple minutes left of the podcast. So let's talk about the Game Awards, which happened again. Molehill Bakery, there you go. I don't know what it is, but it feels like the Game Awards happens more than once a year. I checked, they don't. They're annual. The last ones were, December of last year, but every time the Game Awards come out, I'm like, again? Didn't we just have Game Awards? No. But I don't care about the Game Awards. I know probably the people who are nominated do, but I genuinely do not know who won the Game Awards. Don't care. I watched all the trailers. That's all I wanted. So, also, Jeff, Keeley, dude, man, you didn't ask me for my advice, but I'm going to give it anyway. Don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. I know it's your show, but you have the charisma of a block of wood. Please stop hosting your own shows. You're bad at it. You're very, very bad at it. Please get anyone else to host your show. Or don't. It doesn't matter. I don't watch it anyway. And maybe everyone else loves you. I don't know. I'm sure you're a wonderful person. Also, I put this on Twitter, but when you're doing any type of show or event or presser for video games and you're showing off video games, two things to keep in mind. Number one, when you're showing a game trailer, cut to direct feed footage of the great game trailer. Don't swoop the camera around the venue. Don't focus on audience reaction. Don't care. I want to see the game. Game Awards didn't do that so far as I saw. But it did fail in the second area, which is cut the venue's mics when you're showing game trailers. I'm not interested in listening to the audience's reactions going, woo, yay. I want to hear the game. So stop doing that. Elden Ring won Game of the Year? Yay, Elden Ring. Hooray for From Software. Cafe Fox, I only like 2 hosts on IGN. Can't stand anyone else. I honestly have no idea what IGN's doing anymore. I have not bothered with IGN for a long time. No disrespect, a lot of talented people who work there, but they have long since stopped being one of the entertainment resources I frequent. Maybe they're doing wonderful work right now and I just don't know. Don't know. Chicago, I don't want to hear when the audience boos. Stray won Best Indie? Well, that's what I wanted to talk about. Because for me, again, if you love the Game Awards, that's wonderful. Glad you do. The way I enjoy the Game Awards is I just watch the trailers because I don't care about the awards. And I find the show very boring. But for me, the interesting thing about the Game Awards is to look at all the games that have been nominated in a given year and see how many I've actually played. And so I counted up the games. 69. Nice. So, why do we do that? I mean, because it's immature and it's funny, but the act that's referring to, I don't think witnessing or participating in anyone's thoughts are nice. Because it's just gross. Because when you think about it, what the actual activity, the specifics and the mechanics of it, it's 2 people nuzzling each other's crotches simultaneously. They're disgusting, sweaty crotches. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm not saying it can't possibly feel good to anybody. I'm not saying it can't be enjoyed by anybody. I'm just saying don't think about it too much, because sexual activities, if you think about them too hard, they're really, really gross. So don't think about sex. Sex is fine. You know, I'm not poo-pooing sex. I'm not looking down my nose at anyone who might partake of adult activities in entertainment. No, perfectly fine. Just don't think too hard on them, because yeah, it's just a sweaty, smelly, slimy, gross thing that involves fluids. Ew, it's so gross. Again, fine, natural, thing that most everyone does. Perfectly fine, but it's still really gross. It's like pooping. Everybody does it. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with pooping. But it's really gross. Not something I want to watch. And I don't think anyone reacts to the concept of pooping with nice. No. Just, it's something we do. But again, something we just probably best not to think about in too much detail. Because when you think about it too much, it's like, when I think about what I'm actually doing, that's really disgusting. I am put off my lunch now. This took a weird turn, says Chaos. Yeah. Kirby won Family Game. Bayonetta 3 Best Action Game? Huh. How about that? Nice. So we're getting a Bayonetta baby Bayonetta game, Cereza and the Lost Dog or something. Okay. Let's see. Video Game Awards was too long, literally 3 hours. Shake my head. Chicago. Wasn't that how long Kratos' voice actor acceptance speech was? I'm pretty, yeah, that dude, as I was scrubbing through the thing, I was like, this guy's been on stage for a long time. I hope whatever he's saying is really interesting. But, I mean, you won, and I was assuming that was a voice actor thing, because I recognized who it was. But, I mean, this is your moment. This is the day. You won. Dude, you're on stage. You've got, use it. It's fine. If he whatever the hell he was talking. I mean, unless he was like advocating genocide for minority groups or something, then that would not be okay. But whatever he was talking about, sure, take your moment. You earned it with all your boys. I lost Momo. Okay. Don't think too hard about sex. Sorry, I had to be done. That's true, Viper. There were Muppets. Oh, yeah, Animal from the Muppets showed up at some point. I was like, huh. Scrolling, looking for the next world premiere. All right, what was I talking about? Oh, right. So, 69 games nominated for a Game Award, if I counted correctly. How many did I play? 2. Bayonetta 3 and Stray. Both of which, the chat reliably informs me, are award winners. So I have excellent taste in video games and very mature and healthy views on sex. Though I did play the demos for Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Live Alive, and Triangle Strategy, all 3 of which were nominated for something. So that kind of counts. And I have played, and the Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga, and The Last of Us Part 1, those were both nominated. I haven't played those, but I have... Excuse me. I just spat. But I have played the original Lego Star Wars games that make up the Skywalker Saga, and I did play the the first remaster of Last of Us, so maybe that counts too? I don't know. But yeah. That 69, by the way, is counting games that are not necessarily new this year. It includes games that were nominated for stuff like games that continue to be popular, like Destiny 2 and Genshin Impact and stuff like that. So, there you go. Just one Muppet. It's all they could afford. Yeah. Cafe Fox, he got caught up in the moment and didn't know what to say. He even knew he was on the stage too long. Oh, I wonder if he was like not expecting to win and was, oh shoot, I need to say something, and I don't care enough to actually watch. But I'm sure I hope he's an awesome dude, and again, just because I don't care about the awards, or rather the awards show, doesn't mean they're not important to anybody. And I certainly don't begrudge anyone who gets enjoyment out of watching the show, or any of the people who put the show on, or work on nominating stuff, or voting for stuff, or any of the people who are there nominated and or receiving awards. No, that's important to you, and that's great. I'm not pooping on it. I'm not saying don't do it just because I don't like it. No. Do the annual Game Awards. Totally cool. I'll enjoy it in my way, which is fast forwarding until I watch game trailers, because that's really all I care about. So, all right. And so, that's it for tonight's episode of Molehill Mountain. Join me tomorrow, noon Pacific Standard Time, for the Sunday stream, which streams on Sunday. We're gonna beat Trails in the Sky the Third tomorrow. Very likely. Probably. there's a good chance we will actually complete the game tomorrow. Because we're at the end game. My understanding is it's the final dungeon. We've got 16 characters, we divide them into groups of 4, and we send them each into a dungeon. So, unless these are like each really, really long dungeons, or each of them is capped off by a particularly long cutscene, we may, possibly, probably, maybe, okay, beat the game tomorrow. So, I hope you'll join me for what could possibly be the final Trails in the Sky the Third stream. Regardless, if we beat it tomorrow, great. If not, we'll finish it probably the next weekend. Then we've got our Christmas stream, which is making crack balls. And then I guess we'll probably do something new on the first, or maybe we'll jump straight into the Crossbell arc. Haven't decided yet. Regardless, I need to. I think I figured out how I want my parties organized, and I basically did which characters would want to be with each other. I'm like, well, you have to have Tita and Ren together because they're besties. And, of course, Tita's not going to want to go anywhere without Agate. So we need Agate and Tita and Ren. And, of course, if you've got Tita and Ren next to each other, Annalise is going to pitch a fit if she's not included on that cuteness. So there's one of our teams. And that's basically how I figured it out. Right? That seems like a good way to do it. Olivia and Muller are on one team, and Olivia wanted to be with Sherazade. So... Estelle and Joshua are going to be on the same team. And I figured we're going to have our game leads on one team. So we've got Kevin and Reese and Joshua and Estelle on one team. They're probably going to do our final dungeon. Unless the game locks you into specific characters, which I don't know. So my planning could be for not. I just need to make sure that everyone's got nice shoes and the proper orbments, or rather quartz, stuck in their orbments. So it'll be fun. Unless the game really drops the ball on the ending, which, golly, I hope not. Anyway, that's it for tonight. I hope you had an enjoyable podcast. I did, and hope to see you all tomorrow for some Sunday stream fun. Until then, everyone, don't think about sex too hard. Take care. Bye-bye.